Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have a motion to approve today's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda as presented.
I will second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. HVAC project update.
Talked to the well drillers this morning. They're supposed to be here Monday. They're supposed to be talked to them. They're held up on a job right now. Hopefully being here tomorrow and starting drilling Friday.
Okay.
So, otherwise than that, we're moving our condensing units into the basement. Got 3 of them set. And we're moving along pretty good, I feel like. So.
Good.
Yep. Just trying to let everybody know that still the 30th of April we're looking at starting the new entrance to the east here. So just keep that in mind, and
okay.
I guess that's all I got for now.
All right.
Are they doing anything across the hall yet, or across the road?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
We just got the equipment in for that yesterday. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I'm here today. I just wanted to help Dustin and make sure that we have the critical dates that are coming up to be not only mentioned in the newspaper for the public to understand, but also the workers inside the courthouses. We have the 30th that we're planning on shutting the east entrance down, and it will be interrupted on and off for the next 3 months after that. Next week, everybody who works in the courthouse or visits they're going to not have heating or cooling. So depending on the day, they might want to be advised to dress a little warmer, dress a little cooler, depending on the Iowa weather, because we do plan to take the boiler system down next week and completely demo that room to get all the equipment installed. So when the well drillers do finish, we'll be able to have the system ready to go for the startup. So we expect that to take about 6 weeks from the start of the well drilling till we can start firing up individual systems. We will start with second floor and work down through the courthouse. So second floor would be the first floor to get air conditioning or heating back on, and then first floor, and then the basement would be the last. We do have all the equipment, as Dustin said, for the COB building, so we'll be starting to move guys from this building over to that building, initially demo. I need to plan a meeting, a pre-construction meeting with all the department heads in the COB. Talk with Jody about it, and we have that kind of tentatively working on in the next few weeks, just so they know that when we start their system, they lose everything from the beginning. So they're going to be down for a couple months before we start seeing things start to come back up. Could be interesting May, June, into July for them. But it's all a good plan. I mean, everything is coming together pretty good. The electricians are keeping up. King Construction is, or last I talked to Matt, they are on schedule for materials arrival and everything. The well drillers have been the only ones that are a little bit behind, and their delay has come because of obvious spring weather. They had a project from down in Des Moines that they're trying to wrap up. They were hoping to get here first of this week, but now it's going to be the end of the week. And once they're on site, you'll see 2 drilling rigs. And as soon as the vertical drilling is done, they'll come in and start doing the horizontal drilling for the remainder of the wells. Should take about 2 to 3 weeks for all the well field to be put in. And then he's estimating about 2 to 3 weeks to dig all the lines to tie them together and bring them into the building. That's why we're saying about 6 weeks out from the time he starts. Working on getting quotes, and well, I got 3 different companies that have actually looked at the grounds outside. Once we're done with the well field, here in the next week or 2, we'll have a quote to restore all the ground with the sod and everything back to when we're done, so it doesn't look like we've been here. So one major piece that we've had a little bit of delay on is the dedicated outside air unit that we had to order early into the program, or into the process, because the manufacturer said it was 16 weeks out. Now they're pushing 18 to 20 weeks. So that'll be one of the last pieces of equipment that comes in, and it goes clear back up in the attic. So, but we have all the ductwork installed. We're ready for that unit. We're just waiting for it to get here, and then we'll be installing that.
Okay.
Like I said, today was the major thing, was the critical dates that are starting to move forward with is you're going to lose heating and cooling 100% for a few weeks. and the shutdown of the handicap accessibility to the building. So I know that all the staffers inside the courthouse have worked well in posting signs. We have them around the building. We've had them in the newspaper. We just want to keep that in front of the public so they're reminded that we're going to have that issue while this new entrance is being built. Any questions?
When does the cooling and heating end? What day do you think that's going to start?
Next week, probably about Wednesday.
Okay.
Tuesday, Wednesday, if the forecast is looking good where we can stay in the 50s to 60s during the day, we're going to shut it down because we have to have time in this boiler room, about 2 to 3 weeks of work to get it all the old stuff tore out and the new system put in. So we just want to keep those dates moving, and we've been warning from day one that there is a time frame. We just need everybody to be ready. You can't say surprise.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
Rick.
you.
Thank
you.
Dustin. Thanks, Dustin.
guys.
Okay, open the bids on the sale of the property in Cleves. Looks like we've only received one bid. Okay, so I hereby submit a sealed bid of $240 for the Gruis Park area in Cleves from Jessica Lara. Powell Falls.
Did Vince Lindeman submit one? We did talk to him on the phone. Nancy received one?
Okay. All right. So, anything else we need to?
Wes, happy to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Costs you what,
A lot
$3,000?
of maintenance. A lot of
Really?
Maybe.
drainage costs.
Yep.
Oh, drainage, yes. Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the bid of $240 to Jessica Laura.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion?
Oh.
Yes?
we-
We only have the one bid, but I believe there's a public hearing that's been set on this, so I think we have to wait.
Oh, we do?
I believe we will.
I'll rescind my motion.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yes. Wouldn't the public hearing normally be held before opening the bids?
No, if there had been more than one, then you could have discussed,
Okay.
you know, which one, or if there had been a tie, that sort of a thing, but
Okay.
I think at the public hearing, then, unless something unusual happens, then you could put on the agenda to
accept.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Daryl. Okay, approval of the minutes of April 3rd and April 8th, the Canvas minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for April 3rd, 2019 and April 8th, 2019 as presented.
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Approval of claims for payment for April 10th.
Move to approve claims for payment.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Utility permits and secondary roads.
So last Friday, myself, Wes, and Dave all had a meeting with FEMA. So they gave me all the answers that we wanted to hear, but yeah. So we can proceed how we wanted to, but it's still gonna take a lot of time. So they gave us permission, you can use a contractor if you want. You can't just call and ask them for help. Everything we do will have to be like an open, fair process. So that's no big deal. So Bruce is working on drawing up some plans for that. And then I believe Wes and myself have both mentioned to our auditor how we might need to do a budget amendment. Otherwise, we'd have to wait till July, and nobody wants that either. So that's kind of where we're staying right now. because rock hauling for ourselves is going to slow down because we need to get all our guys out doing their regular jobs too. You know, we got a lot of digging crews that need to, yeah,
So,
we can't put up everything.
so is your thought then we would be hiring some rock to be hauled?
Correct.
Is
We
what
would
you're
still
talking
have
about.
our 6 regular people left, but
Okay,
yeah, they couldn't do 400
Right.
miles in a year,
Mm-mm.
so,
okay.
yep. And that's why I wanted to ask FEMA, would we still be reimbursed if we use contractors, so. We'll
Okay.
do whatever process they want done to get that reimbursement back.
Okay. So we need to amend the budget for the current year we're in.
That's what
Yeah,
thought
I
too.
mean, I ran the numbers and it's gonna be so close that it worried me.
Okay.
And what do you need, like 35 grand, you were
That's what I
thinking?
roughly figured.
Yeah, and I think mine was gonna be for 250,000.
Okay. Okay. All right, good to know. All right, but no utility permits?
No.
All right. Proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Month. Carrie, would you like to come to the podium, please?
And I was voluntold, I was, no, just kidding. So members of the public and members of the Board of Supervisors, I want to thank you. My name is Carrie Kuby and I serve as a member of the Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition. And we have been in operation just over 3 or 4 years formally. And as some of you may be aware, April is denoted as Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month. So we come to you today asking you to sign a proclamation declaring April as Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month in Hardin County. So I'll read the following. Whereas our children are our most valuable resource and will shape the future of Hardin County, and whereas child abuse and neglect directly harms children and increases the likelihood of long-term physical and mental health problems, alcohol and substance abuse, continued family violence, and criminal behavior. Whereas children suffering from child abuse are more likely to engage in risky behavior, perform poorly in school, develop unhealthy relationships, suffer from depression, attempt suicide, and express violent aggression. And whereas only $1 is spent on prevention of child abuse in Iowa for every $50 spent on treating it. And whereas in Iowa, it's the leading research efforts to better understand the negative long-term outcomes of child abuse and neglect among adults through the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study, also known as ACEs, which shows that poor physical health, mental health, financial health in adulthood is attributed to the adverse experiences in childhood, including abuse and neglect. And whereas the risk of child abuse is reduced through strong social supports for adults and children, and whereas research shows that the presence of one caring relationship in a child's life mitigates negative outcomes and reduces risk factors, results in better physical health, mental health, and financial health. And whereas positive social supports for children and adults are key factors to improving social well-being in Iowa, and whereas the Connections Matter initiative supported by the Hardin County Child Abuse Prevention Coalition promotes the development of positive social supports and communicates the healing power of relationships in the child's development and the community's growth. And now, therefore, we, the Hardin County Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim April 2019 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Hardin County, and urge all citizens in our community to increase their participation in building caring connections with families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the community in which we live. So if you would do so by signing, we would appreciate it.
I'll make a motion to approve the proclamation naming April 2019 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Hardin County.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 And on behalf of our coalition and our board, we appreciate it. We thank you very much. So.
Yes.
you,
Thank you for
Thank
what you do. We have to give that to Nancy.
She can get a
Okay.
copy of this.
Okay.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, Sheriff's Monthly Report.
I'd make a motion to approve the Sheriff's Monthly Report as presented by Sheriff McDaniel.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. I was wondering, fees, March fees from care prisoner, $290,388.17. How much of that comes from ICE, from holding undocumented immigrants?
Depends on how many we're holding. It's holding other inmates, local inmates, room and board, as well as ICE.
Can that be broken down so we can see what comes from ICE? Is that a thing you could do with this
I
report?
would think so. I'll check into it.
Okay, great. But I could check with you maybe later in the week and you could break that down for me.
I'll do my best.
Okay, and then, okay, thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Noxious weed and fines assessed resolution from IRVM.
So this is just what we put in the paper every year as part of the Iowa code for if people have any of the noxious weeds on their property and they get a phone call or I see it or whichever, they'll get a notice. I did want to note again, at the top I did add the chapter 58 because that is the rule that changed what is on the noxious weed list. So we went from like 17 to 7. And then I also wanted to note on the old noxious weed list, they had all thistles. They removed the 2 native thistles, so we will not spray tall or field thistle. And then they kept that the genus Cardus, which is plumeless, so it'll be plumeless thistle, musk thistle, Canada thistle, bull thistle. Those are the only 4 that we would have to maintain. Okay. They're in that genus. So just, that's the only change this year. And then the Palmer amaranth for CRP in roadside, but we don't see it in roadsides. So.
Okay. Okay.
And then, yep. And then this is if you just want to, instead of reading that chapter 58, this is from the Iowa State Extension. This is kind of like their breakdown of it. So if something you want to read or look up, you can.
Can you email that?
Or is that on our site?
It is.
Oh.
In the packet, maybe?
I don't know if it is. We might have just grabbed it and put it for.
Okay.
I don't
right.
think I have it as part of the agenda, but I can.
Okay. Thank you, Micah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution for the noxious weeds and fines assessed.
I will second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh,
Oops.
BJ,
Aye.
Lance,
Aye.
Renee.
aye. Application for liquor license for Meadow Hills Golf Course.
I'll make a motion to approve the liquor license for Meadow Hills Golf Course, effective date 4/15/2019, expiration of 1/1. Need to correct that to 2020. Shows 1900.
I'll second that with the corrected date of January 1st, 2020.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 I'll make a motion approving the Iowa Falls Lodge number 1331 Loyal. That would be the Loyal Order of the Moose Lodge in Iowa Falls. Their Class A liquor license, and it would be effective May 1st, 2018 with a 12-month term.
Do we need to correct that?
Yep, and that one to 2019 with a 1-year term ending May 1st, 2020.
I will second that with those corrections.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Medical examiner agreement. We haven't had a medical examiner formally appointed for quite some time now. So, and I have spoken with Dr. O'Laughlin, and he is actually has kind of been performing the duties anyway, and has agreed now to fill that position again.
Okay. So we had filled the position. We needed to state the term and the compensation, correct? So having done a little bit of research and talked to some other providers. I would make a motion to approve the term for 2 years with a pay rate of $300 per case.
I'll second that.
Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. All right, Recorder's Monthly Report.
Move to approve the Recorder's Monthly Report.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And public comments. Julie.
I just had a couple of questions on the claims that were paid. CBM food service at like $3,900. Is that a monthly charge?
I would.
CBM food
That's under the
That's
sheriff's.
for the jail, correct?
Weekly.
It's a weekly claim.
That's a weekly claim. That's a weekly claim for food provided from an out-of-state company. Okay, and then I had one more, Men's Correctional Care, PLLC, 10,000. How often is that? I assume that's related to the jail as well.
That's our medical provider.
And that is billed
Monthly.
monthly. The other one's weekly and the other one's monthly. They're both out-of-state for-profit companies, I assume. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other business? Okay.
At this time, I'll make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5, Sub I, Sub C, regarding pending litigation.
Well, second.
Any discussion? All
Roll
those in-
call.
Oh,
Aye.
To
Okay. I will make a motion to adjourn.
I will second.
Any other discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Thanks, Project Thomas. Aye.
That's all, folks.